So let's go ahead and talk about, in this video, we'll talk about geometry. Just a little bit of geometry. We'll talk about perimeter versus area. Okay, so seal the perimeter, right? Isn't that what some people say when they're... Tell me how that goes. What do you say? Seal the perimeter. What does that mean? Is that even a saying? Okay. Secure the perimeter. That's what I meant. Seal it, secure it. Okay. So that would be around, right? If I have a castle here and I want to know how much building supplies do I need to go around the outside of my castle so that I can secure the perimeter. There we go. Let's say this is 5 and this is 3. And how do I know it's 5? Well, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is 3. I'm cutting it into thirds here. So how much goes around the outside? If I was going to put, let's put some numbers to it. Feet. Okay, that can't really be my castle because that's way too small. But, a bedroom, something like that. Okay, no, 3 feet, way too small. A bed, maybe. All right, so 5 feet, 3 feet. Coming up with this example on the fly, clearly. So how much would I need if I was going to put a fence around this little tiny dog pen? How about that? A dog pen? How much would I need to go around? That's what we call the perimeter. Perimeter is going to be the distance around the outside of a closed figure. Actually, it's called a polygon. Okay, polygon is a closed figure with straight sides. So if I wanted to go around the outside, how much would I need of fencing for my little dog pen? How did you get that? 16. Add them all up. And so sometimes people say for a rectangle, perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. But essentially, it's the same thing as going all the way around. It happens a lot where people will only see those 2 sides with the dimensions, because we'll say the dimensions are the length and the width. So a lot of times people will only see those 2 dimensions and they'll only add those 2. But perimeter, in fact, is always going to go all the way around. So since I have 2 lengths or widths and 2 of the other one, that's in a rectangle, perimeter equals 2 times 3 plus 2 times 5. And so then we get equals 6 plus 10, perimeter equals 16. And I didn't even put any units on that. That was feet. And what we consider perimeter is a linear distance. It's literally a line. So we call this a linear distance. And you notice it's just feet, okay? But in this same shape, let's say I wanted to plant grass for my dog. See, I already made up the word problem. I want to plant some grass for the dog. Do I put the grass around the outside? No, I should put the grass all along the inside. So that's talking about area. If you think about an area rug, okay, the area covers, it's 2-dimensional. And that's the reason why we talk about this word dimension, right? The dimensions of my pin are 5 feet by 3 feet. That's the dimensions. What's the area? Well, each one of these is a square, is a 1 by 1, it's 1 by 1 feet. It's actually 1 foot square, or 1 square foot, right? How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Imagine those are perfect squares there. So I have 15. Well, what do I do with the numbers 3 and 5 to give me 15? Yes, for a rectangle, area is length times width. So the area is going to be 5 feet times 3 feet. Okay, there's lots of different ways we can write multiplication. We could write it as a dot. We could write it, as 5 feet dot 3 feet, or 5 feet parentheses 3 feet, or 5 feet times 3 feet. But we also, oh, I just did the same one. We can use the asterisk. I meant to do, of course, that version of times. Okay, and notice what happens is if your feet times your feet give you 15 square feet. And if you write the square next to it, it's literally saying it's not a linear distance. It's taking up two-dimensional space. So anytime you buy things like carpet, you want to paint the wall, that's area, right? Even an area rug. What does an area rug do? It takes up area. Yeah? So we always have that in square feet, and that way we know that we're talking about something that is two-dimensional. As opposed to, you know, my fencing, even though I'm going to enclose a rectangular space, I'm going to buy the fencing, it's going to come in a straight line. That's the difference between perimeter and area. Okay, and then what about volume? Well, volume measures three-dimensional objects. So it's how much could fit inside of a three-dimensional object. My favorite drawing to do, I used to do this all the time when I was a student, is just like draw my little boxes, try and perfect the box. Isn't that so good? Looks so good. Okay, anyway, the rectangular prism, this is called a rectangular prism. You know it as a cube. I mean, it's a cube if all the sides are the same. It's a cube. Just like it's a square if all the sides are the same. But this, let's call this is a rectangular prism. It has a length, it has a width, and it has a height. So it's three-dimensional, 3D, right? When you watch a 3D movie, it actually feels like it's popping out of the screen because it has a third dimension to it. A flat screen, when you go and watch a regular movie, it's two-dimensional, unless you go see the 3D movie, and then it's going to jump out at you. So the same thing is true of this rectangular prism, is it has a base, length times width, so we could find the area of this base. You see, it's three-dimensional. You find the area of the base, which is length times width, and then you multiply it by the height. So the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. And the reason why I bring that up is because if it was a different shape on the bottom, you would still find the volume the exact same way. So let's make up some numbers here. Let's say that this is 3 feet, 4 feet, and the height is 2 feet. Not drawn to scale, clearly, right? It doesn't look like that. So to find the volume, we're going to go 3 feet times 4 feet times 2 feet. And since I'm multiplying feet times feet times feet, I know that I'm talking about volume because it's going to be feet cubed or cubic feet. 3 times 4 is 12, times 2 is 24. So even when we see, you know, more advanced problems, it doesn't matter what the shape of the base is. Let's say you have a base that's a circle, you would be finding the area times the height. That would be like a cylinder, right? My cylinder is not as good, but you would be finding the area of the base, multiplying it by the height, if you wanted to find the area, or the volume, sorry, of a cylinder. And you're going to know that we're talking about a three-dimensional object because you have to the third power. Yes. Yes. Yes, square feet. Mm-hmm. Square feet. So that's actually interesting to notice. You're not going to be squaring the 15. Only the feet are squared. So it's not the same thing as 15 feet squared is something totally different, right? So when I say 15, you can even write it like this, square feet. And a lot of times people will write the word square feet out, but you're not squaring the 15. Only if you had a square, a perfect square, that was 15 by 15, right? Then your area would be 15 feet squared. And notice the parentheses, right? So the 15 is included. If I wanted to find the area of this, it's going to be 15 squared because that's going to be the area inside that square, right? That has a length and width of 15. So that would, and then feet squared. It's just the same thing, you know, when you see, let's say you see 3x squared. Is that 3 being squared there? No. Okay, it's the same idea. It's the same concept. Is here we have 225 feet squared. That's the area, but we're not going to go ahead and square. The square feet is what's telling you that it's area. So anytime you see square inches, square feet, square yards, square kilometers, we're talking about a two-dimensional shape, usually a rectangle, but not always. It doesn't have to be. It could be a circle. We could find the area of a circle. Oh, like there was a problem that was brought up about area of pizza, right? We could go down this rabbit hole for quite a while, but that'll be where we're going to leave it off for now.